What are you doing?
Oh, didn't see you there. I'm just smelling Jagged Little Pill by Lance Morissette. That's one good thing about records. You get to come in and you get to kind of, filter through them and smell them. My 265 monthly Spotify listeners, they don't get to smell any part of me. And that's a shame, right? Do you think they make records that you could smell? You know, the ones with all different colors? Do you have any of them that smell different, I wonder?
Well, what would your record smell like?
My record would smell like Fear, Aiden. And you know what Fear smells like? Kind of spare tires and a little bit of cat piss. But that's neither here nor there. We're at Buds Records in Cornwall, Ontario. I'm Wade Barris, and this is Indie Business. It smells like lilacs, I think.
Isn't cat pee smell the worst? I've never owned a cat. I don't have a beef with them. I like them. They're super cute, especially the ones that look like their little faces were smushed with a shovel. Himalayans, I think they're called. They were super cute. I'd like to have one. After the tragic and sudden passing of original owner Larry Bud O'Byrne in 2020, his dear friend and bandmate Jason Lavoie and his girlfriend Emily decided to honor their dear friend by purchasing Buds Records and keeping with traditions of helping out the community that his friend had started years prior. Now let's get to the interview.
We're here with Jason, co-owner of Buds Records. Now, Jason, thanks for doing this. If you can, in your own words, please just kind of walk us through the history of Buds Records. I understand that there was a different owner prior to you taking over, and just that history behind Buds Records and what's led up to this point.
Okay, Buds Records was started in 2019 by my good friend Bud O'Byrne. I was in a band with him since probably 2011. We were in Dr. Mom, and he started the store because he was running it out of his house for a few years, and things got kind of picking up through the store, selling through the house, and eventually got himself a brick and mortar store, and started doing good, doing some online sales and working the store. And it was sadly, shortly a little bit after a year of starting the store, Bud suddenly passed away, and through communication with the family, we came to want to continue the store and continue Bud's legacy, keep the name Buds Records. So me and Emily, we relocated from Ottawa. I'm originally from Cornwall, but I relocated back to Cornwall to run the store while still doing construction and maintaining the store on the side as well.
And how long ago was Bud's passing?
Bud passed away in 2020.
2020,
yeah, April 16th.
Because I remember I wasn't too familiar at that time with kind of the scene around Cornwall, but I remember that was a big, huge thing. I remember people saying, like, did you hear that Bud passed away? And at the time, I didn't know anything about him, but yeah. It's always terrible when somebody that's, not just in the music community, but in kind of the independent small business community passes away. There's a lot to kind of pick up after that. So you guys ended up purchasing and taking over Buds Records. Tell me, kind of what that was like, because you're kind of filling big shoes, so to speak, right?
Yeah, definitely big shoes. So it was definitely, you could say, intimidating at first because of just getting into a business that I wasn't very familiar, even though I was collecting records for many years and Laserdiscs. It was different running a store. Also, it was during COVID and that we made the decision to move and take over the business. So that was actually pretty risky at the time, not knowing what the future was, because that was in the prime pretty much of COVID. So it was the full lockdowns and all that. So we made the commitment to the risk at the time. It seemed like to just take on to move over and try to take this make the store continue.
And this is the second building that you guys have operated out of, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
We moved on the other side of town, and you guys moved into this, which is in the downtown core of Cornwall.
Yeah.
Beautiful storefront as well.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it seems like there's a lot of history in these buildings that don't really get talked about.
There is definitely, yeah. The basement is very old and yeah.
And haunted?
Possibly, yes. Man. It wouldn't be nice to have a seance down there eventually and check it out.
Can we do a seance later?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this.
We'll schedule the ghosts in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll hire some ghost actors too for showbiz. So tell me, Jay, what, the first day of opening Buds Records, you get handed the key type of thing. What was your feelings? I'm sure there would have been a lot of emotions.
Definitely, yeah. So at first, when we first got the key, it took a few months to get everything set up to opening day. But there was a lot of nights, countless nights, honestly, when I was there alone till like 2, 3 in the morning, working late. There was a lot of emotions, and sometimes there's like, you can almost feel like Bud's presence in there as well, like playing tricks on me. And it's almost like I would keep looking under the bin, and I would keep finding new stuff all the time, where it almost felt like I've already looked there before. And I'd look again, and it'd be like great stuff I'd be pulling from underneath the bins, where it was like, it just felt like there was some connections made there for sure.
And little signs. And
that's
little,
right.
Yeah.
Even to the day when we first picked up our first order from our distributor was so many months to the day exactly when he unfortunately passed away. But there's always these different, there was a lot of signs.
It's amazing how there's the little things like that, that it's normally if something like that didn't happen, you would never think about it. But like you see those and it's like clear as day kind of signs.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
And also being able to acknowledge it is important too.
So once you guys got up and running, like what was there a lot of nerves, like this would be to own a business is a big deal, especially like you said during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of, you don't know what's going to happen. There wasn't sort of, being able to establish what your clientele was. So like, what was kind of your emotions during all that?
It was pretty much a risky kind of risk. We're going to just try it out and see. I knew no matter what, we were never going to, our intention was never trying to replace Bud at anything, because Bud was such a good character and well, more than a character, but such a great person. But we could also offer records to the community and continue the store. So there was a little bit of nervousness of maybe people felt maybe we're intruding and stuff, and there was people that kind of maybe projected that towards us. But in the end, I knew I was a bandmate with Bud for like 10 years, and we had a lot of solid conversations that I didn't feel like I was intruding on anything. If anything, Bud knew I probably needed to continue to do this because there was no more jamming, there was no more anything. I felt like a big, great loss. I know a lot of other people did, but the store really helped me just continue grinding and continue working and get my mind off of everything, and just work and I'm representing Bud. It's got Bud's name, so I feel like I have to work hard to honor him, so it's good.
And it's interesting how like some people might kind of be a little negative to you starting out. It's just amazing how, grief people deal with that.
That's right.
And some people get, a little bit resentful not knowing kind of the whole story type of thing.
Yeah.
And they project it onto you, and it's not fair, but like I said, everybody kind of deals with grief different.
Creates tough skin though in some ways, right? Like
you have to, right? Like it kind of, especially as a small business owner, you have to have tough skin or else you get destroyed, right?
That's right.
So maybe that was kind of like a good kind of baptism by fire sort of thing, so to speak, of kind of getting you guys with tough skin to deal with any of that,
Yeah.
So Jay, you'd mentioned that you guys had opened up during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. What was kind of your experience through all that? Because not only starting a small business, but even operating a business during that time would have been kind of ridiculous, right? So what was your experience with all that?
Well, definitely the lockdowns were just like a day before, right, announced, so you couldn't have anybody in your store. So
the day before?
Pretty much, right? Sometimes it'd be the day before it was be announced that the lockdowns are starting and you can't have anybody in your store starting the next day. So we started doing online auctions, which honestly was a great way for me to introduce myself to the community, and certain people that didn't know who Jay was taking over, or Emily. We were able to introduce myself through the camera and express myself a little bit, and people got to know me a little bit like that. And some people would be coming in the store on a later date, and they'd be able to be like, "Hey, Jay," and they felt like they kind of got to know me through those online interactions through the live on Facebook. So we learned to reinvent ourselves because of COVID. We had no choice. We had to pay the rent. We couldn't have anybody come in sometimes for a couple weeks at a time. So the online auctions really helped us out.
Because that would have also been a weird time. It's almost like you had a lot of kind of cards stacked against you, because to open up a small business right at the COVID-19 pandemic, when you start a business, you want to show this, I'm the face, this is who I am, especially something that's a sensitive topic like the passing of Bud.
Yeah.
And you guys taking over that kind of mantle, that you want to say like, hi, this is who I am, and it's like during COVID-19, you didn't get that avenue to do that, of to welcome the public in and actually physically meet everybody.
That's
right?
it. Yeah. It was very limited. Like we were open for a bit and then we were shut down, open for a bit. So it definitely helped us out.
So, Jason, how has the local community embraced Buds Records now?
Oh, it's been great, man. Yeah, we've had a lot of support, even online support, lots of comments and lots of sharing our posts, lots of attending our events. We also have events at the Port Theatre, and we host movie nights there as well. Lots of people attending those, so it's been a great, even at our store, it's been great, man. Yeah, making a lot of new friends, sort of thing, with running the store. A lot of new faces.
Do you find more people are coming out and kind of getting to know the community, or slowly but surely, right?
That's right. Yeah,
it takes a little while. That I think, touching back on COVID, we're still dealing with a little bit of that. Ordering online and not going out and seeing anything. But something like a record store is something that you have to, for lack of a better term, experience. You know what I mean? It's part of it is sifting through different records and trying to find ones that you want, not just click buy.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean?
You never know what collection we just stumbled upon that we were putting out, originals that, and that's what makes it fun here with original OGs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, is there any way that you guys like to give back to the community? Is there any projects that you guys do? Or?
Yeah, we host private movie nights here, often like once a month. We try to aim for twice, but it doesn't necessarily happen. But once a month, and often that money gets donated, or even food to Gape Center. And right now we're raising money for the Paw Opportunity Group for the cats. So that will be our next donation.
Yeah, I know that we've talked off camera before about putting something together, but hope my band, Parliament of Owls, we could do something maybe a little bit later in the year to have some sort of fundraiser. And,
that'd be great.
And like perform inside of here type of thing would be
that'd
cool.
That'd be awesome.
And,
love to have you guys again.
Anybody that's listening, that's in the Cornwall area, that is say somebody that needs a little bit of hand that we can kind of link up with to do a fundraiser for, please don't hesitate to reach out to Next Street Order Productions or Parliament of Owls.
No.
So, and on that note, Jason, thank you so much for doing this. Now, part of the whole indie business thing is we profile small business, we interview the owners, and then I perform inside that small business. Are you cool if I play a song in here?
Of course, man. I'd love it.
Let's go. So this song, it's a Canadian song. And I was playing a couple weeks ago, and this guy came up to me, this stranger, and he said, hey man, can you play this song? And at first I'm like, no, of course I won't. And then I listened to it and I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to play that. So this Canadian, old school Canadian guys, everybody knows this song. Once there was this kid who got into an accident, couldn't come to school, but when finally came back, his hair had turned from black into bright white. He said that it was one when the cars had smashed him so hard. Girl who wouldn't go and change with the girls in the change room, but when finally made her, they saw birthmarks all over her body. She couldn't quite explain it, they've always just been there. One kid had it worse than they had. Then there was this boy who parents made him come directly home from school, but when they went to their church, they shook and lurched all over the church floor. Couldn't quite explain it, they've always just gone down there.
That song was by the Canadian band Crash Test Dummies. You can't really say that song title without sounding like a complete weirdo, can you? If anyone is in the Crash Test Dummies that's watching this, be cool. Let me come sing that song with you. I'm Wade Barris. So on behalf of my production partner, Aiden Knifer, I'd like to thank Jason and Emily for welcoming us into your record shop. I never got to meet Bud, but I'm sure he's super proud to see the dream that he started is still going strong with you guys. This is Indie Business, and remember, always support the little guys.
The only problem is he always gets injured. So like he'll do something crazy and then like he'll be gone for like 4 months or something like that.
In real life, he gets
Yeah. But he's so good at like telling stories, and like he had like really good like returns and stuff like that. But yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I love it.
And I try to tell my wife, and I'm like, nah.